Welcome, Admirals, to Ray Rivers Gaming and Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail. In this video, I'm going to be doing a little bit of an in-depth look at officers and weapons as concerns and their relationship in the Admiralty and your career. Okay, now the screen that you're looking at is the results. It's my harbor after the Battle of Savannah. Now, in the Battle of Savannah, big battle, and a lot of officers and soldiers and sailors were either wounded or killed. Okay, so when that battle is over, you have to recover, of course, right? So if you look at the Devonshire here, immediately you see that this guy needs to be replaced. Okay, whether he's killed or wounded, doesn't matter. He needs to be replaced. You go to Bond, he's okay. Lark, and I mean, this is pretty intuitive stuff. All right. You go to the troop ship, and now, okay, right off, I see here that I need to assign an officer. But looking in the center, it's a lot easier if you focus more on the center here to see what has happened to your Marine Corps just by looking at these cards. Okay, if there is a red officer, that means that unit needs an officer. And so what we're looking at is this is the first Fusiliers with muskets. Okay, and yep, you see he's got 90 guys, so this is this unit, 3-star. He's got a red officer and he needs a new officer. And so if this guy here, if I click on him, yep, sure enough, need a new officer. So just some symbology there, that if you look at your Marine Corps, immediately you'll see some symbols there that will tell you right off the condition of your forces. Now there's another symbol here, these chevrons, and those chevrons mean those guys have increased in their capabilities to another perk. So in this case, we've gone up to 2 perks. Okay, and in this case, the guy went up to his 3rd perk. So that's what those things mean. Okay, this is my mortars. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, and boom, and the thing goes away. So just real quick, that's some symbology you may not have realized, but you don't have to go through every one of them. There's going to be an icon there that tells you what kind of changes are necessary or available in your Marine Corps without having to go through all your different troops. So that's just an icon thing. We're talking officers right now. So again, officers are very important, and the interface is very good at telling you right up front. See, this is my reserve, and it tells me right up front who's the best down to who's the least. Okay, in my reserves. Okay, all right, so this guy I don't want to put there. Yeah. This commander here, he's the guy I want. Okay, and you see the difference there? See the difference in sailing? You don't think sailing is important? Mouse over it. Affects the sail raising speed, mass rotation, modular repair, firefight, and water pumping handling. So it's just not sailing. Okay, it's actually also repair and firefighting and all this other kind. I mean, this is really important. And you take a hit to your rudder. Okay, how quickly the rudder is repaired is based on your sailing capability. All right. When I'm finished with a big battle, like I say, I will go through and I will take off all of my officers. So I will just go ahead and I will take away all of my officers on all of my ships, and then I will put them back again. And why is that? Because in a battle, different things are going to be happening to different folks. And so this guy here may be involved in a boarding action. This guy here may be, duking it out with another frigate, and there's a lot of fighting going on. And this guy over here, maybe, because he's, let me see, maybe Galga, because he's so slow, was caught out of position and he didn't get to do nothing. But it doesn't matter. And if he's in that battle and he's sailing around, then he's earning experience. And that's why in these battles, okay, when I'm finished with the battle, and you say, okay, that's it, I've sunk everybody. Don't end the game. If there are enemy sailors in the water, shoot them. Okay, because or if they've gone to the beach and you can go over there and shoot them, because that's going to affect your gunnery. Okay, that's going to affect your stamina. Get those gunners practicing. I mean, if there's something to shoot it. Okay. In Ultimate General Civil War, you would have people who, and I did the same thing, you'd have a unit, and basically that unit really was a subpar unit or what have you, or a new unit or whatever, and they really weren't needed in that battle. And so what we do is you send that guy running off all around the map to earn stamina. Okay? We'd have him run. You get totally exhausted. I don't care. Run some more. Just like PT, physical training. So the same thing applies to your merchant ships. Okay, you've got this guy here. He's pretty good. What do we do with merchant ships? Well, what I've been doing up until this point is, if I need to sail up to a place and drop off troops, I sail up there, I anchor, I drop off all my troops, and I leave that ship there. And that's it. Okay? So that captain, he didn't earn very much experience because he didn't do nothing. Okay? He sailed from this point to that point and anchored. All right? If you want, after you dropped off your troops, send that guy sailing all around the map, turning here, there, doing this, doing that. They gain more efficiency. They'll gain more sailing, and as I've already said, sailing is important, and this is a good chance to increase their sailing. They'll increase their stamina because you'll be having them continually working to swing those sails around and all this other kind of stuff, okay, which affects movement, if you will. Okay. So don't think about, when I first got into the game, and this was my first campaign, I thought, okay, this is a place where, because these guys aren't going to be doing any fighting, I just put a really crummy guy in there that didn't cost me much, and forget about him. Don't forget about him. All right. And as a matter of fact, I mean, if the scenario calls for a situation in which you're going to in which you're going to you can take you're not going to, for example, need your whole fleet. Okay, you're only going to need, say, a couple frigates and a couple merchants. Well, take take some of those other officers that are quite good officers, okay, and put them in there, okay, so that they can get a chance to sail around and build up more experience. Remember, the more the guys are in the actual battles, the more experience they're going to build. So even in troop ships, you have the opportunity to build experience for your guys. And that's why at the end of a battle and before one, especially a very big battle, a lot of times I'll review my officers, and I might even actually just take them all off and redo them so that I have the best officers that I have available in my fleet. Okay. Now notice this guy isn't all that great at melee. Okay. 19. But his stamina is very big. And you see your stamina here is quite low. This guy is very big and melee, but his stamina is not so great. The computer's telling me this is the better guy. Let's put him in there and see what happens, okay? Okay, and you see his boarding has gone up. And his stamina definitely went up. Okay, so let's cancel that out. Okay. So we're talking about this guy right here, right? Let's see, let's go back here. He goes there. He goes there. See, it's very easy to do it, you know. So we're talking about these guys here. So should I put him there? We saw what happened there. Or how about this guy here? Less stamina, but better boarding. So maybe that number one guy isn't the number one guy. Depends on how you play. If you play a lot of boarding, well, maybe you want that guy with better boarding. Okay, and when we, so about that. And when we look at our recruits, look at this guy. He's got. Let's see what happens if we put this guy in there. Again, he has even better boarding. Okay, and his stamina. Okay, it's pretty good there too. But you get even better boarding. So maybe this guy is a better guy. How about this guy? His, yeah. His boarding went down. How about this guy? So, you know, I mean, normally it will show you, you know, it shows you the best guy. So take the best guy is what I normally do, unless there's somebody else there that you really want that has a characteristic like boarding that you feel is more important for your game style. Okay, so I'm gonna cancel that down. So like I said, always when a big battle comes up or after a big battle, I will take away all of my officers and I will reassign them. The exception is in exceptional captains. I have Nelson here. He's in the Devonshire. And Bond has my Rear Admiral, the Garnet, is there. All right. Actually, yeah, I you know, it depends on how you look at it. I mean, Devonshire, I think is listed first because she's really fast. And then Bond, she's next. She's not very fast, but she has a lot of weight. So this is more of a fast frigate, and this is more of a fighting frigate. So it depends on, again, your playing style as to who you want to put where and what attributes you want. But generally, you know, the interface is pretty good at telling you what's the best officer. And, oh, you know, don't Don't leave them there, because you have no idea how how their attributes have been affected by different battles. Okay, so periodically check all of your officers and make sure that you have the best ones in position. So now we're going to go to the Admiralty here. Okay, now this is the default, and we're always looking at this. Oh, what kind of ship can I get here? There's officer another thing here called officers. Now here gives you all your recruits, which is fine and all that, but to tell you quite honestly, this isn't the place to be buying officers. The place is in the fleet, okay, where you can match their abilities with what you need for your ships. But interestingly, over here is your reserve guys. And this, again, it doesn't really make a lot of difference, But what it does do is it does show you injured officers, okay? And you see that by the red cross. It has a number there. And there's another one there with red cross and a 4. Okay, this guy's obviously... These numbers, okay, relate to how many stages of the game the guy is going to be out of commission before he's back active. So every time you go through a new stage, that's 1. All right, so if I click that button, okay, then he will decrease to 2 and he will decrease to 3. Is that important? Not really. But it shows the depth of the game, huh? It shows how deep it is, and if you're interested, what you can get out of what's going on. Now, when you look at the officers, there's some good stuff in here. I put one here on officer assortment. That probably wasn't a good way to start. If I was to redo that, I'd probably put officer training to speed their training. Okay, just like over here, I have 2 in crew training to speed the training of my sailors and Marines. All right. This is hiring costs and all that. I think there's other ways that are better in that are better cost savings, if you will, than that you should get before even considering this. But this might be worth at the very, as you can, as in the beginning parts of this campaign. You see, I've only got 3 out of 10, so I'm still in the early parts of this campaign. Putting 1 there, or maybe 1 or 2 when you can, might well pay a lot of dividends. So that's pretty much everything on officers. All right. Now the other topic I wanted to talk about was weapons, and again, the relationship between your Admiralty and your career. So let's go to the Admiralty again. So we were on officers. So now we go to naval weapons. Okay, and there's a shop and there's an armory, and there's land weapons and there's a shop and the armory. And of course, if you're playing the game, when we click on a gun, okay, we see here armory and shop, right? Okay, armory is what we have in our inventory, if you will. It's our inventory. Shop is how many guns are available to buy. So we see that information here, yeah. Just the same as if we click on a rifle, you get the same stuff, and there's a part there. There's 40 dragoon carbines in the armory and nothing in the shop, so we can't buy anything. So even you look down here and you see, oh, look at these. These are some really good weapons here. you only got 70 of them. Okay, you got 70 in your armory, but there's nothing in the shop, so that the most you can get is 70. So it's kind of like, well, who cares? What the Admiralty does is it gives you an ability to sell weapons. All right, that's what the Admiralty section does with the weapons. So, for example, here in the shop, you see that they have 39 4-pound Armstrong's guns, okay, and they cost 70 gold. And over here, we see that we have 20 in our inventory, and then if we want to sell them, we're going to get 42 for that. All right. You see? Let's see here. So sell. So one gun, I get 42. Two guns, I get 84. If I wanted to sell them all, I get 840. Not a lot of money. Okay. But as you go through your campaign, you're going to get more and more stuff in your armory. Okay. This over here, this sign here, this is 2000 sea surface musket. This is a little sign here. This means infinite. Okay. I click on them. I can buy as many as I want, it doesn't matter. It's infinite. Once again, where these things come into importance is in selling. All right, in selling. So I got this stuff in my armory, and from this screen I can sell them if I want. All right. But notice that there's a difference here. Here in the shop, if I bought those guns, they would cost me 70 gold. But if I sell them, if I sell them, I only get 42. All right. Not a very good deal, huh? That's where the Admiralty comes in, their career comes in here. So I've got 2 career points coming out of Savannah. And if we look up here, we see prices, okay? And that says better sale purchase prices in Admiralty. Present, 0% on sale, 0% on purchase. Next, 5% on sale, minus 5% on purchases. Okay? Now, in the long game, saving a little bit here, saving a little bit there, gaining a little bit here, gaining a little bit there gives you an edge. So let's see what happens. Let's go back. Let's go back over here to the armor. Okay, so let's look at these 4-pound guns here. We see that this price here to sell is 70, and to sell, that's to sell. That's to buy 70 gold for one gun, and if we want to sell it, it's 42. Let's take a look at the ships. Let's look at the first one here. The Sorlings. Okay, it's 26,400. All right. And even your officers, they have a cost, right? So everything in the Admiralty here has costs. And you can sell ships and weapons. I wish you could sell modules that you didn't use. Now, if I go into my career, and this portion right here, okay, I have 2 points. I go ahead and click on that. Okay, so now I've got a 10%. I've got a 10% on sale, and minus 10% on purchase. So let's take a look at how that works. Okay, so let's go to the ships first. Okay, so remember that was 26,400. Okay, 26,400, and now it's 23,750. So that saved a lot of money, huh? 10% made a big difference in how much that ship cost. Let's look at naval weapons. Remember the Armstrong gun? It was 70 to buy. Now it's 63. But more importantly, when you want to sell them, it's gone from 42 to 47. So now I get more bang for my buck if I want to sell these guys. Okay, they're going to get me a lot more money. We're still talking very small amounts of money here, okay? Because these guns aren't really worth a whole lot of stuff here. But as we go through the campaign, as we get farther and further and deeper in this campaign, and things, we're going to start having bigger and bigger ships and more, bigger and bigger battles and more damage and officers getting killed and all this. Things are going to start getting expensive, especially towards the end of the campaign. So everything that we can do so we need to look at the long term. And in the long term, a lot of this stuff, like the prices here for sale especially, are going to help a whole lot, because you see what happens is, while it of course it helps you in the short term, the question is it worth to put a whole lot of points there at the very beginning? Are there better places to put it? That's up to you, okay, in the short term, in the very beginnings of the campaign. But as the campaign gets longer and longer, it's getting more and more important that you put money into those purchase prices, okay, because you will have more, because you can consider these armory, all of this stuff in the armory, okay, as kind of money in the bank. All right, so this thing, if I sell it, I'm only get five gold. But when I max that thing out, I'm at 25%. I don't know what price I'm gonna get. I may get 7, 8, 9 for that. Okay. So this is kind of like, it's like a reserve, if you will, that you can use to sell items that you don't need when you really need them, if you know what I mean. At this point in the game, I'm in the very beginnings of the campaign. I should be able to work within my budget. I mean, if I'm a little bit, I need 1,000, to finish doing exactly what I want to do for one battle. Well, I can, there's no big deal, go ahead and sell those guns off, and you got 1,000, okay? But by keeping them, by not selling them, by trying to stay away from selling them, and getting better and better prices for them, this is like money in the bank, getting interest for when you really, really need them. And usually on the hard campaigns, especially, you want to try to not have to sell weapons, okay, until you really, really need them towards the end of the campaign. I had it before this, before the Battle of Savannah. I hadn't even looked at this section. I knew that there was a way to sell stuff, and because I could see it in the in your reputation there, that there was an area there in your career. There's an area there for prices, but I never realized how you did it, and this is where you do it. Okay, want to get some extra money? There you go. Sell off a bunch of Spanish muskets. Okay. And so I think that pretty much does it. I just wanted to put out some more information on some of the icons that I've seen that I didn't really realize what they were. A little bit more on the officers, information that you can find about them, ways to get them better, and so forth, and weapons, and how you can um, um, use them to help finance your career. So that's just about it. It's just a very quick tutorial for you veterans. You all probably all know that this game has a lot of features, has a lot of depth, information, more information almost than you need to know, and but it's nice, to know that those features exist, where they are, how you use them, what those icons mean, okay, at a glance, so that you're not, what does this mean? What does that mean? Taking forever to go through your harbor and getting everything up to snuff. So I hope you found that interesting, and until the next time, hasta luego.